And the driver of this car is only 5 years old. How did he talk his parents into letting him race cars? Well, you'll find out when you meet the St. Louis only 5-year-old racing champ. That's tomorrow on Show Me St. Louis. That's going to be quite a little story.
That'll be neat. I've seen those little midgets race. Never one as young as 5, but it is neat.
Doesn't even have a driver's license. He's racing cars. Imagine how fast he's going to drive when he gets to be 16.
Crazy.
He's not even in kindergarten yet, but he's already tearing up the track. I'm Wendy Erickson. I'll introduce you to this 5-year-old race car driver.
Live from Channel 5, it's Show Me St. Louis.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm Debbie Turner.
And I'm Dan Buck. Thanks so much for joining us. Well,
that's my asphalt, that's my brake, and this is my seatbelt.
He is a pint-sized racer. A little later, take to the track with St. Louis's own 5-year-old race star.
and from there we go from the past history to future heroes of the track. Quarter midget racing is heating up St. Louis. Find out how you can get your kids revved up next.
He's getting ready for life in the fast lane, and he's only in preschool. Welcome back to Show Me St. Louis, everybody. I'm Wendy Erickson. Most of you moms out there would shudder at the thought of your 5-year-old behind the wheel of a race car that goes 40 miles an hour, but it's become a weekend adventure for the Kaido family of Arnold. Their 5-year-old is not only racing, he's winning. Roger Kaido is a kid on a mission. While most 5-year-olds are learning to ride a bike, he's busy gearing up for a ride in his race car.
Switch on.
It's called quarter midget racing, so named because the cars and the track are about a quarter the size of what you'd find in pro circuits.
That's it, right down on the inside.
This is home video of one of Roger's first races this summer. He's been winning trophies ever since.
He started first driving when he was 4.5, and it's just kind of amazing how he took to it, how he could control the car in a slide and bring it back and keep it under control.
That's my asphalt, that's my brake, and this is my seatbelt.
Roger got hooked on the sport after seeing this IMAX movie and midget car display at the Science Center. Dad was excited about the idea, but not Mom.
I told him no. I thought there was no way I would ever let him do this.
She eventually gave in and has been cheering him on despite what happened at Roger's very first race.
He went up 2 cars and flipped over and just slid down the dirt. I was screaming. I was probably the first one out there. And he was fine. In fact, he was laughing.
Good man. Nice job.
The Kaidos say great attention is paid to the safety details of this pint-sized sport. As part of his fan club and pit crew, Roger's grandparents are just as supportive.
The Quarter Midget Association, which is the national sanctioning body, has been doing this for almost 70 years. They've got statistics that prove it's 3 or 4 times as safe as Little League Baseball.
As safe as this sport may be, it's also expensive. And already Roger's 2-year-old brother Chase is showing interest.
You can get by for probably $3,000 or $4,000, but I've gotten the fever. It's kind of out of control, and we're going to keep racing until they try to repossess the cars or something.
For now, Roger will continue racing and showing off his trophies at preschool show and tell. So what do you want to be when you grow up?
Race car driver.
Don't be surprised if someday Roger Kaido really is tearing up the track at Gateway International Raceway. Good luck to him. This weekend, the Kaidos are traveling to Ohio, where Roger will compete in the Quarter Midget Nationals. That's also where they had to go to get Roger's extra small car. Those are not easy to find, and they're also expensive. In fact, the Kaidos are looking for some sponsors to support Roger's racing habit. But the Kaidos would be happy to answer anyone's questions about Quarter Midget racing. It is becoming very popular. You can just give them a call there at the number on your screen, 636-282-0670.
My goodness, what a cutie he is, and boy, can he drive.
Yes, and a message to all those sponsors, get him now while he's cheap before he hits NASCAR. You can get on board early.
Thanks so much, Wendy.
Thanks, Wendy.
We'll see you. Wow.
That's right.
He's going to be somebody.
The ice storm. The ice storm cometh. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a little bit. John and Randy?
Thanks a lot, Glenn.
Well, everybody knows you have to be at least 16 years old to drive a car.
But you know, there are some exceptions to that rule, and the kid we're about to meet is quite exceptional. Fox 2's Paul Shankman is here with this story. Paul.
Well, John and Randy, while most 5-year-olds are learning to tie their shoes or count to 10, we met a boy recently who has something else on his mind. Roger Kaido has the need for speed. And as you'll see on this edition of Shankman's Neighbors, his feet may be little, but his right one is made out of lead. When Roger Kaido pulls into town, he makes quite an entrance. He weighs only 45 pounds, but on the quarter-midget racing circuit, 5-year-old Roger is a heavyweight. How fast can you go in this thing?
60 miles an hour.
Oh, you can't go 60 miles an hour.
Yes, I can.
And that's why Roger gets strapped down and buckled in before he moves an inch. His car may be made of fiberglass, but his nerves are made of steel. Have you ever rolled it over? Have you really? What did you think when that happened?
Nothing.
Here comes Speed Racer. He's a demon on wheels.
Quarter-midget cars look sort of like go-karts, but with a lot more go, and driving them in competition takes a lot more skill. But clearly, Roger has what it takes, even though some of his many trophies are almost as big as he is.
Yeah, he's got the need for speed. He's fantastic. I mean, naturally, you're asking a grandfather, but he's one of the finest natural drivers I've seen.
And Buzz Kaido should know he was a racer himself, and so was Roger's father.
Well, I started this out thinking that, I couldn't afford to do my own racing effort. So we were going to do this with Roger, but I look back at it, the money I've spent on Roger's race cars, I could have had a pretty nice one myself, yeah.
What happens when he turns 16? Are you going to give him the keys to your car?
No, actually, we're going to buy him an older Volvo, probably about a 70 with a lower engine in it that doesn't go real fast.
Are you a racing nut?
Yes.
Are you just a nut?
Yes.
When it comes to racing, you might say Roger really excels.
He's always asking now, when's the next race? And I say, when do you want to race? He said, tomorrow.
Go Speed Racer, go!
Well, if you still think this looks a little unsafe, the Kaidos are quick to point out that even insurance companies think quarter-midget racing is all right. The annual premium for Roger is only $5 a year.
Wow. I tell you what, that would scare the heck out of you
As a parent, yes, definitely.
That's when they spin out like he did.
Wow. All right, thanks,
Good
Paul.
stuff, Paul. Thanks a lot.
Wow, let's get one more look at the traffic and see if there are any little speed racers out there right now.
Yeah, we're in the midst of rush hour. Kathleen England's got her eyes on it. Kathleen?
Oh, yes, we've got plenty of speed racers. We've got an accident.